Hey, what is going on, guys? This is SMEB Reviews, and today we're going to be taking a look at the third studio album from the Lumineers titled 3. There's a lot to unpack here. For starters, this album has a lot of story in it. There's a lot of actual plot that goes on through this story. So first, before I really start anything, I just want to go through the plot. We have a very dysfunctional family, a family that's ruined by addiction. You see, Gloria is the main protagonist of the first section of this album, and her mother really didn't treat her well, told her that she was ordinary and that she didn't have and that she did I mean she just made her feel bad about herself. So Gloria ended up turning to drinking and drug problems, and so which ended up turning into problems at home, and in her marriage she ends up cheating on her spouse, but regardless ends up having a child in that marriage. The husband, her husband, ends up dying in a car crash while taking her to the hospital because she overdosed, and so she runs away and she leaves the child by himself. That child is Jimmy, who Jimmy is he is a problem with a lot of substance abuse problems. We see him frequently depicted as having, alcoholic or drug problems, and that he gambles a lot. He was in a lot of loan problems, but it is specifically pointed out that he does it for the good of his family because Jimmy ended up having a child with this woman, Bonnie, who was also possibly an alcoholic and left them whenever Junior was young. Junior is the son of Jimmy and Bonnie. Junior, he ends up taking up drugs and resents his family because of what they've done to him. And the cycle of substance abuse just continues. Now, I am going to say that some of this is not explicitly stated in the album. I'm partially taking off of the music videos, which I have spent hours analyzing. It's unreal. I have done a lot of work trying to analyze this story. The only main thing that I like to point out about Gloria is that she sees herself as a martyr. She's paying for the sins of her mom, and now she has to pay because of what her mom did. And she sees herself as a martyr, kind of like how Jesus had to sacrifice himself in Christian ideology. So there's a lot going on here. And musically, I really do like this album, but it's not the focus here because whenever I get really into this story, it just really sucks me in. And my favorite part is that there's no conclusion. We get a slight note of Jimmy having hope for the future, but ultimately there's no conclusion. There's no everything gets better or everyone dies or there's nothing that happens that cements finality. It just ends. It talks about how Jimmy and Junior just have this very dysfunctional relationship, and then Jimmy hopes things will get better, and that's it. And nothing is concluded, and I kind of like that. I kind of don't, because I would like some finality to this story, like something that happens here, but I kind of like that nothing happens, implying that just like this train of substance abuse that has continued through the family, starting with Gloria, possibly Gloria's mother, Donna, but it's not really stated. Gloria, and then moving on to Jimmy, and then Junior, it just continues. And honestly, the vocals here are great. They really excellently demonstrate the brokenness that is felt in these lyrics and in this family. I think it works perfectly. The only other thing is the instrumentation, which I do really love. We get some moments that are kind of less produced, it sounds like more of an acoustic, live session, kind of like in Leader of the Landslide as an example, or Left for Denver. And I still I prefer those to be a little better produced, just so that they fit cohesively with the album, but whatever, it's not a huge deal. And honestly, I originally thought that I liked Gloria's like 3 songs more, which are the first 3, Life in the City, Donna, and Gloria. All super catchy and really exciting, interesting songs. But the more I listen to it, Jimmy's EP is really growing on me too, because My Cell and Jimmy Sparks are just these incredibly, like, moving and dark, sinister sort of sounding songs that just detail Jimmy and all of his problems, and you start to sympathize with him. A character who, in Junior's EP, the previous 3 tracks, you don't sympathize with at all. I think that it's something that it really made a character that originally was not too appealing, and I like that. The music here is just so good. It's typical Lumineers stuff, but they do know how to play up to the emotion they're trying to tell. Donna is Donna really starts off with, because it starts off with like a little like record buzz, like crackling from a record, and it really starts off this like retelling of a story. It really, it starts this album off well, and I love the piano that introduces it. I don't know. I do really love this album. I've been watching all the music videos, and there's still 2 to come out, so there could still be more to the story that's not developed in the songs, but maybe in the music videos. But as of this moment, Jimmy Sparks is the last music video that was to be released. So I'm basing all my narrative off that. I just don't know when the last 2 are coming out, so I hate to wait and make this review 2 weeks later if it took another 2 weeks for the last 2 music videos to come out. So ultimately, I do genuinely like this album. It is really good. There are some weak moments, I won't lie. Like, It Wasn't Easy to Be Happy for You is catchy, but not my favorite. Same for Left for Denver. Honestly, all of Junior's EP is not super interesting to me. It doesn't really draw me in. April as an instrumental is kind of but it's only 50 seconds, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. And neither does this album. It's a very quick album, a really solid album. The only place it lacks is that sometimes the storytelling is kind of general and doesn't necessarily develop what's happening too much. It's hard to necessarily establish this plot, especially if you weren't watching the music videos, and if it almost seems like you have to watch the music videos to get this plot, which I feel like is kind of a detriment to the album, though I still really enjoyed. I really love the Lumineers, and ultimately, regardless, even in its weakest moments, it's still great. I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I've been given 2 really solid ratings recently, but this week just had great music. What did you guys think of this album? Please let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really does mean a lot to me, and I will see you guys later.